Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I have the honor of speaking to you a little bit about Foursquare for the next couple of minutes. Do we have the slides? First of all, sign of hands. How many people actually know Foursquare? Okay, that's good. How many people use Foursquare? That's good too. I guess you guys will see some of this and it might seem familiar to you. While we don't have the slides, I'll start off anyway. No, it's not me. So Google came along, first of all, and they started by taking the world's content, indexing it, categorizing it, and ranking it so that it's universally accessible to everyone. On top of that layer, Facebook emerged, and they decided to take your real-life social network and add it as a layer on top of that content in the web to facilitate content discovery and sharing. Foursquare, and I got my slides. Foursquare is trying to be the layer that really connects all your social connections as well as the content on the web to location. Let's move from the lofty to a bit more tangible. So our mission is really, we want to help you to explore the real world around you. We do this by helping you meet up with your friends. We do this by helping you to find really cool new locations. And we do this by helping you save money while you're doing that. A couple of numbers about us. We're about 80 employees. Most of them are in New York, about 70 of them. 15 of them are in San Francisco. We have a satellite office there. And one person is here in London, yours truly, as the first employee internationally. We have we'll definitely have a lot more than 10 million users, but that's the last official number. We have 1 billion check-ins. We have 500,000 merchants on our platform that are engaging with Foursquare users on a daily basis. And we have 50% and more people that are Foursquare users internationally. What's the core of the application? The core of the application is really the check-in. Who's familiar with the concept of a check-in? Okay, for the benefit of the people that don't know about it, the app works the following way. You're in a restaurant or in a hotel or in a gym or in a museum. You pull out your phone, you open our app, and then you can see the locations that are nearby. You pick the location that you're in, and then you can check into that location. What does that mean? You broadcast your position, so to say, to your friends on Foursquare. You can attach a picture to that update, as well as a little status message. That's when the fun starts to happen. We have three main pillars that we really try to push in our app. The first one is engagement. So when you check into places, you actually earn points. And you earn more points for checking into places where you haven't been before. Or you earn additional points if you're extremely social and go to places where other people have checked in, or many other people have checked in. This creates a little bit of a competition because you see your points compared to your friends' points on the platform, and thereby start comparing yourself to someone else and try to check into new places and go out there in the real world. So we're trying to engage people and try to foster new and good behavior. Another thing that we do is we actually award people on our platform with virtual goods, which we call badges, which seem to be everywhere nowadays. I think we were the first to bring that concept to life. And an example of that is the Gym Rat badge. If you check into a gym 10 times within a 30-day period, you actually get a Gym Rat badge. And that is a virtual good, but with a real world kind of value. And people share that on Facebook and on Twitter to show off that they're extremely sporty. So and we have badges for many other things as well. This kind of fosters engagement on the platform. The next pillar in our platform that we really try to push is discovery. Whether it's discovery through seeing what your other friends are doing on the platform by checking into places. For instance, let's say a friend of yours checks into an Italian restaurant in Notting Hill. There's a really nice one that I like, it's called Ripe Tomato, and takes a picture of their pizza and says, yummy, you have to try the pepperoni pizza. Then you might think that's a good place to go to for your next dinner. Or the other way that we actually allow you to discover places is by looking at our search algorithm, which is proprietary, and typing in queries. For instance, I could type in a query here, sushi, in a 1 kilometer radius, and it would give me suggestions. Now, the great thing about this is that we know your past behavior because you've checked into places, and we know your friends' past behavior because they've checked into places. So we can do things like Amazon do with related sites or related books. Things that you've done in the past can essentially give you a better discovery for new and additional content in the future. We do that with locations. The next pillar in our app is loyalty. We allow merchants to use our platform to claim their locations and then upload specials. What do specials mean? They range from acquisition specials to retention specials. Let's take a tangible example. You're a restaurant around the corner. Your place is empty. It's 12 o'clock. You should be buzzing. Every table should be taken. And a table is really a perishable good if you think about it, if it's empty. So you put in a special on Foursquare to everybody to discover while they're searching on Foursquare. With every check-in, you'll get a free appetizer if you order an entree. So that way you drive traffic, foot traffic, back to your store. You could also reward loyalty. For instance, if a person checks in 10 times into a bar called Muse in San Francisco, they actually get a bottle of sparkly wine, which is pretty cheap, frankly, but it does the trick. It's for free. We have more than 500,000 merchants, as I mentioned, on the platform that are using these specials to drive traffic to their stores, foot traffic to their stores. They range from heavyweight international clients to the mom and pop store around the corner. It's quite exciting about this sort of location check-in is also that we can share these metrics with the merchants. So you can see when do people check in, on which days, at what times. What's the demographic of the people that are checking in? Are they male, female mainly? Do they share their check-in to Facebook, to Twitter? So all this information is quite new, and it's quite exciting for a lot of these retailers. There are also more than 5,000 brands on Foursquare, and this goes back to the part where I said we want to connect the world's content also to locations, which are using our platform to take information that they already have on their websites and actually tie it to locations. I'll give you 2 examples. Time Out New York created a list of the top 20 restaurants in New York, and what they did was they actually left tips, which you can do. It's kind of like a mini review, at all these places on Foursquare saying, hey, you should definitely try dish A, dish B, with a link back to their website, mobile website, where there was a lot more information. So take the example of me being in a restaurant and then seeing this brand, going back to that page while I wasn't even thinking about Time Out New York. All of a sudden that brand is present in a location-aware context with me and giving me good advice to make decisions. Another example here in the UK, which is quite exciting and which I use a lot, is the History Channel. They've created a layer, so to say, a list of places that you have to visit and sightseeing places that you have to visit in London, ranging from Big Ben to Westminster Abbey or Houses of Parliament, with information about the history of the places, again with a link back to their website where you can read more about it. But when I walk around London and I see something interesting and I look in Foursquare, or this is Big Ben, I'll see the information. I can find out a little bit about the history. So it's kind of a virtual tourist guide in my pocket. What's the future of this space look like? I think we see a lot of traction already, not only with users and brands and merchants, but we do understand that we're still at the very beginning. Only 25% of mobile phones here in the UK are actually smartphones. And I think we live a little bit in a bubble. Most of us here might have smartphones, but if you go out there, actually the penetration is not that high. But as soon as these applications run on so many more phones, and these phones become so much more powerful so that you could, on opt-in, maybe track somebody's location at all times if they're interested in that and give them specific offers that are location aware, this space becomes a lot more interesting. So we're scratching the surface of something that's going to be really big, and we're quite excited about that. Thanks a lot. May I say, please follow me on Twitter, or add me, or send me an email at Omid@Foursquare if you're interested in working together. And we're also looking to hire a lot of people, so thanks.